Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again with John Greschner. We have an important piece of information we'd like to put out.
Yeah,
John's
yeah. You
this
asked me if I knew Terry Walker.
Terry Walker, yeah.
Yeah, okay, check this out. He's the one that got killed, I think, in I Unit with Conan in there. Let me tell you something. This was after the Lewisburg thing. This goes to show you how deep this shit runs with the BOP and the federal government.
Right.
After Lewisburg, all the DC blacks are howling for murder and mayhem and all that shit. They don't know that the government fucking orchestrated that shit. So, check it out. So, here you got Conan and other white dudes that are affiliated with the brand and Mexicans affiliated with the Emmy on one tier. Then you got a bunch of DC blacks on another tier that's, down there, they're DC blacks, and they're screaming, for blood and murder and all that shit because of what happened in Lewisburg.
Right.
So here comes Captain Benson at Marion with a sword team. He goes, this is straight up shit. He comes up on the fucking tier, and he goes to Conan and another dude, and he tells him, he says, I got orders from Washington, D.C., the central office, to de-gang you guys, and by God, that's what I'm going to do. And he tells them, cuff up. Well, so you're either going to cuff up or they're going to run a sword team in on your ass, jump you, cuff you up, and then drag you down and put you on that tier with the DC blacks.
Oh, wow.
You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
So listen. So they said, all right, let's go. They cuffed them up, both of them up, took them down the tier, then opened all the doors up for wreck. One of the black dudes come rolling out with a piece. They took the knife from him and killed him with his own knife and stabbed him some more.
Wow.
That's what happened. Then they ran in, responded to it, went back up on that fucking tier, got a couple more, so it said, we're de-ganging you guys, cuff up. Well, they already hooped some pieces.
Right.
And they're ready to go. They moved down there and they popped them doors and they got busy. The government has been behind this fucking shit all along. They should have never, ever fucking went and snatched them dudes up and put them down in that tier. You tell his old lady that I've been trying to reach out to fucking the families of whites and blacks that were casualties in this whole thing that the government did. You tell her I was trying to go through Jackie Reed at BET News, and I seen a black lawyer on BET News. He was suing the fucking D.C. County Jail for violating some people's rights and all that. I wrote him, and he wrote me back, says, listen, man, I'm not a civil rights lawyer. He said, I dig what you're doing. He said, but I ain't getting involved in all it, but good luck. I wrote to Al Sharpton trying to get him. He's always up there howling about how he's about black people's rights. He wouldn't even answer.
Right.
So I was trying to reach out to the families of people out of D.C., the blacks out of D.C., tell them, you got wrongful death suits against the fucking government, and I'll be your fucking witness. And I ain't hearing nothing from nobody. In fact, Titus Webster, one of the dudes out of D.C. that was stirring this shit up in the shoe at the ADX, other blacks were coming to me on the side saying, hey, John, we ain't with this shit. He's stirring up this bullshit. He's one of them that he got hit about 28 times up in the Berg when that shit went down, right?
Right.
I had his old lady's address. Her nickname was Stinky. In D.C., I wrote him through Stinky and told him, man, the Romans knew everything that was going down. They were behind the whole fucking thing. You're supposed to bring a lawsuit on this. None of them ever did anything. So it's good that you're talking to her. You can give her my address and everything. If she's got a mouthpiece, you can give her my fucking address, everything.
All right, I will.
And or if she wants to communicate or whatever.
Well, he's dead now.
I will help her with that.
Conan is dead now, bro.
What?
Conan is dead now. He died.
What happened?
Apparently, he committed suicide, bro. He went. He finished
Really?
He finished his federal sentence.
Where, in the ADX?
No, he maxed out at the ADX, right? Apparently, they took him to trial. I think he got a hung jury. He went to the ADX.
Yeah, he did in Benton, Illinois.
Right, exactly. And then he went then I guess he got paroled to Lucasville, Ohio. He had a state sentence, and he's in Lucasville, and apparently he hung himself.
What the fuck? Hey, what the fuck is wrong with these guys?
Well, I guess he had mental issues. I don't know. I mean, he was in the hole there. I know that. He was in the hole
Yeah,
there.
well, our life is the whole.
Yeah.
No, really, I'm serious. Our life is the whole. I got like 38 years in fucking solitary confinement. Our life is the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
I get
I
it.
mean, that's the battlefield, Jack. It's, you don't motherfucking wave no white flags, Jack.
Yeah, I get it, bro. I do get it. That's not the way I want to go
I've
out.
been in the deepest pits they got in this country, man.
But I mean, like, if I had like terminal cancer or something, I might do it. But I mean, just facing everyday, trials and tribulations, I don't think I could ever do that.
Here's the problem with suicide. It's just the truth. Unless you're a suicide bomber and your belief construct and you are doing it you're not for suffering, you're doing it out of love and joy and all that for Allah or God or whatever your God is, and you're gonna strap some high explosive to your ass and run up in a joint and say, we all go into paradise, motherfucker, and you detonate.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing that because you're going into your paradigms of reality of your paradise states and your hell states. You cannot escape yourself. Dude, people that try to escape the suffering on this planet through suicide are just going deeper into them. The source that it arises from the other side, the deeper spiritual realms where the imprints are at, is called the vasanas and samskaras. This is the shit I teach. I teach that secret shit out of the fucking mountains, right? So the thing is, you can't escape yourself. You're just going deeper into that shit, right?
Yeah.
That's like I had a cellie, and he was like suicidal and all that. I explained to him the whole trip on suicide, that you can't escape yourself, right?
Yeah.
And he was telling me he wants to die. And I told him, listen, I know how to do it, and it won't hurt, and they'll think it's a suicide, and so you want to go? Let's do it right now. I'll fucking do it right now.
Listen,
And he,
bro.
looked at me and told me, well, not right this moment. I told him,
Yeah, you didn't want to go.
Yeah, get
You
busy
didn't want to
living,
go.
get busy dying, fool.
You didn't want to go.
Choose something, right?
By the way, bro,
So,
the word suicide is not is okay. So like YouTube has a like the word suicide is banned from YouTube because
oh, okay.
and they have like a thing just like the prison has a computer.
How about Harry Carey?
Yeah, that might be work better, But anyway, see, so that picks it up, and I don't think they'll monetize this video because of that. But that's okay. We don't get paid for this one, But that's
Well,
okay.
tell them to straighten it up. Tell them to get real. They gotta stop half stepping.
Well, it has.
They gotta take them soft little covers off that shit. The little soft little clothing, conceptual and terminologies and shit, and call it what it is, straight up what it is.
Yeah, Harry Carey.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you tell his old lady, Walker's old lady, she should spread that word.
No, it's not Walker. It's not Walker. It's Conan's old lady, bro. Conan's old lady. Conan.
What?
Yes, I'm
right. Oh,
right.
you were talking to Conan's old lady?
Yes. Does that?
I thought you said you were talking to Walker's old lady.
No. Conan. I guess you got that. We got this whole thing going, and we didn't got the. It's no big deal.
Well, anyhow, the same thing stands. They had wrongful death suits. Tell her I'm sorry to hear about that on Conan and all that. That's last time I seen him when we were all in the ADX, I was in the fucking SAM cells, but they pulled me out for a legal visit, and he was out there on a legal visit, and I managed to talk to him real quick, and I told him, I says that the government said I was running counterintelligence operations against the government, right? And he went back and told Wayne that they spoke on that shit on the tier. They shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's who I was talking
So
about.
anyhow, tell her I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
You know that occurred, man, and you know, yeah, if there's anything I can do for her, help her in any way, man, you know, I'll do what I can, right?
yes, sir. Well, I mean, she's watching
So
she's watching our show, so yeah.
yeah, so but anyhow, so you asked me a question too, but somebody was asking about, you know, like brand guys in the brand that are tough, that can fight. No, listen, they can all fight,
Yeah,
but that's not the point. In the brand, we got no hands policies. That doesn't mean we can't fight. I mean, as a backup thing, we can fight. Believe that, right? But our philosophy is this: fist fight don't solve nothing. Beating somebody's ass doesn't solve. Even stomping them out doesn't solve. You leave them alive, it doesn't solve nothing. You know, and the thing is our philosophy has always been: if it's serious enough to put your hands on, it's serious enough to get a knife or a gun and get on, but don't let them get back up. Because why
exactly.
would you let an enemy back up?
No, sir.
So he can come back and get you or get one of yours or kill your family or something.
That's absolutely
If it's
right.
that serious to get physical, you get on them and you end it. You put them in the ground.
Exactly.
That's always been the fucking the philosophy of the brand. Basically, the brand is, you know, a fucking. It's. I mean, some are you know with the business. They're killers and all that. But basically, it's an organization of fucking homicidal maniacs.
It definitely was, wasn't it? It still is.
It still is.
Yeah.
Don't think it went away. This shit's metastasized. It's all over the planet now.
And
I
world
had them fly in from Europe, from the German-speaking nations, to talk to me. Because all in the German prisons shit over the same thing is happening that we went through on the battlefields.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, it is what it is. And it ain't going to change. It's evolving, too. It's going way beyond prison gangs. Because there's genocide and shit going on, being perpetrated on this planet, right? Everybody sees it. You know, so this shit's getting ready to ramp up into a whole different level of this fucking game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth. So, hey, and you know, fucking Ray Charles can see that. He's blind and dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's that clear. Everybody knows that. So, these fucking trips that happen in prisons, these prison gangs and all that, are products of a social system. And this social system's getting really, really sick. You know, all you gotta do is look. You're out there in it. All you gotta do is look around.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it. You'll hear them on TV. I look at fucking the news. You got motherfucking squareheads on the news, commentators, talking about a fucking war's coming. They're talking about civil wars. so don't think this is just my best statement. I'm seeing what the fuck everybody else is saying. I'm not even out there in it, right?
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, this thing still stands with all the ones out of D.C. whose loved ones got fucked off. The government was behind that shit, man. This is supposed to be a major investigation, lawsuits. The government wants to stick its face in shit. Well, they need to get involved in this motherfucking shit. Straighten this shit up.
Well, I'm sure they did a lot of things after that, you know, after the Lewisburg thing. I'm sure there was a lot of
They
lawsuits.
were responsible for the Lewisburg thing. The director, Kathleen Hawks Sawyer, had testified in front of the United States Congress prior to that stuff that Lewisburg was a neutral joint. It was off limits to all active Aryan Brotherhood and Mexican Mafia.
Why
It was
they
a
send?
stronghold for D.C. It was for the East Coast blacks predominantly.
Yeah.
And
Well.
they deliberately, when they knew what was going on, because T and other ones were going around talking about, man, we'll just surround. We got 300 comrades in the bird. We'll just surround and kill all, smoke all them crackers. He was stirring all that shit up. That's why other blacks came to me. And after it happened, other blacks came to me. Crips out of South Central St. John. We know you guys had just cause for doing what you did. But the government knew that. So they went to Marion and snatched up 5 dudes. Tweet, Big Al, Wayne, JC, Jason. So you guys want to get out of Marion, not have to go through the step-down program? They says, yeah. And they moved them straight up to the bird, knowing what the fuck was going to go down. That's straight up, man. And then that gets into that other thing where they're saying TD sent that hit and miss, that invisible fucking ink message to the West Coast, the switchboard, and then up to the Berg. But like I told you, I had told Barry Mills in 1990 or 91, that mode of communication was blown. It was no good. It was compromised. If you were going to use it, you'd have to use an encryption system with it because they can hit it with light and cause the ink, the acid in the ink to fluoresce so they can see your message.
Yeah, well, they didn't do
They're
it.
saying TD sent it from the ADX to the West Coast and then up to the Berg saying at war with DC and signed TD, and it was never even encrypted. And you're in a joint, the heaviest joint in this country on everybody. They had two computer systems, algorithms working on us. One was called Sentry and one was something else. All our shit was fucking photocopied, putting dossiers and everything else. They're processing all our mail, everything. So let me ask you something. Why would they let a message go through saying at war with DC? And if they knew it, and if they knew the message is compromised and they're going to be looking for hit and miss messages, why aren't they going to use that technique to bust it out?
Right.
What that goes to is, that tells me TD never even sent that message. It was either an agent provocateur or a fucking government agent that sent it to Slow out on the West Coast, and then he forwarded on thinking it was from TD. I'm telling you, that's how deep this shit runs. You know, they were killing motherfuckers in the ADX. They were using toxins and everything. There was a federal investigation by a United States Senator named Wellstone that started, and they admitted it. The BOP admitted it was a fucking liver toxin because I got it to them. They poisoned me. They almost got me. I was going in and out of a coma for 3 days in my fucking cell. And then I got warned by a staff member, and then somebody dropped a package of the shit on my food tray. And I opened up, and there it was. So I smuggled it out. They killed Spanky. That's what killed Spanky. You put him in the liver failure.
Wow.
That's how deep that shit is up there, man. They're supposed to shut that whole ADX down. That's how corrupt that shit is.
You have 1 minute
So
left.
listen.
Hey, and then
Hey,
that black dude, Britt Bay, that was trying to fucking stop the race shit, that they were trying to get to hit Owen Zeal. He exposed what was going on. They fucking lynched him. They hung him.
listen, man. Was there a control unit in ADX too?
Yeah, there's a control unit there. It's B unit. I opened that motherfucker up.
How many
95.
people?
Then they threw me in the Hannibal Lecter cells, the SAM cells.
How many
back.
people
There's
does
four
it
in
hold?
the back of C block.
How many people does it hold?
What?
ADX's control unit.
About 80 or so.
Okay.
Let's see. There's 3 tiers. There's 3 ranges. 2 of them got 24 cells and one's got 16 cells. So that's 24, 34, 40 cells.
That's their, yeah, okay. That's,
Yeah. And then the SAM cells in the back C block got 4
Thank
cells.
you for using Securus.
I'll see you
Goodbye.
tomorrow.